Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to another pre-market pulse scan. Today is Tuesday, March the 28th, 2017. The time is about 8 minutes after 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jumping right into the overnight markets, we have bonds right now off about 11:30 seconds at 151.26. So the market did bounce from the 140 handle, and it's rallied pretty good here, about 4 points since we last spoke. Looking here at the Dow, the overnight futures is down about 19 points at 20,478. So 20,000, that 20,000 support seems to be holding up rather nicely, and I think we're gonna make a run toward 21,000 here shortly and get up to 22 and possibly 23, probably by the end of the summer. Looking at the NASDAQ 100, it's down about 3 3/4 points at 53.75 and a quarter. S&P down 3 points at 23.55 half. The Nikkei's down 35. Crude oil right now is up 55 cents at $48.27.5. The U.S. dollar has just continued to plummet. We're at the 99 handle, about to break into 98. I mean, just ridiculousness. Just like I told you weeks ago, I told you that that's where it was going to go. I did warn about that. However, I still hold to my target, all things being equal, that dollar and along with Bitcoin are going to surprise people to the upside by the end of the year. I'm still holding to that. All right, looking at gold. Gold hit 1258 in the overnight markets. Right now we're at 1256. I'm sorry, we're at 1258.10, holding steady, up $2.40. Silver hit $18.19 overnight, and right now we're at 18, and we're right at the high, 18.19, right at the highs, and it's up. Looks like what, 77 cents, something like that. So it's doing good. It's doing good from where we were. Natural gas holding above $3. We're at 305 right now. I told you that was going to happen. It's very interesting because the the front month on the mini, we're now in the May contract. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and it's at 313. So you can see here that prices are going to continue to move higher. So that's why we're holding on to that. I'm still holding that long SQQQ because I never moved my stop. I kept the original stop in there. I've been busy and running back and forth, so I just let the original stop hold, as you guys know, dealing with family issues and stuff. So, in addition to that, I've also been in the lab, so hence today's pulse wave sheets that you have in front of you. Turn your attention to the in play tab because that's what we primarily stick with. We have a lot of rally alerts coming into today, quite a few. And the important thing to note is what position the markets are in. And we're going to get into that after we get into some of these alerts. Of note is a Walmart. Walmart has a rally alert on it, which is kind of funny. Um, Looking here, the GDXJ, that's an important one because there's been a lot of concern about the miners, where are they going, and they've been getting hammered along with equities. Because remember, the mining sector is a precarious type of a sector. It's not just a group of companies, i.e., stocks, but they are very much uh, going to be affected by what commonly affects stocks. But they're also going to be affected what happens to gold because that's what they mine, and gold is a commodity and it's a currency. So gold and silver price fluctuations will also come into play with the share prices as well. Of course, earnings and dividends and everything that affects a stock is going to affect this sector. What you want to keep in mind is, I know the JDST and the JNUG are, common go-tos, but you really want to watch what's happening with the GDXJ. If you see major supports being broken in the GDXJ, I don't care if JNUG is rallying, you know what's going to happen, what's going to come next. It's going to pull back. All right? Because GDXJ is your main ticker that you need to watch. So, of course, you get the leverage with the JNUG and the JDST, but where applicable, you want to really deal primarily with that GDXJ because that's going to tell you where things are going. Now, if you look at your sheet, you'll notice that we're in the Kumo cloud of death, but it's a bullish Kumo cloud. Notice how it's showing you that in that uptrend column, you see that number there represents what's happening here on the weekly time frame. It's showing you that the market, for the most part, has some buying or bullishness in it. The weekly complexion has changed. So yeah, you're in the Kumo cloud, all right? However, you still have a bearish bias in this, a bullish bias in this market, hence that rally alert. So that should be noted. There are going to be a few more things added to this sheet, but I wanted to just show you what I've been working on to make things easier to read. So we're going to go into that. And that's the exciting part about what I've been working on, being in the lab and dealing with what I was dealing with. I figured I would make things easier for you to read. If you go back over several days, you'll note that the downtrend in the junior miners has been weakening. It's still been in the complexion, the long-term trend was still bearish for a while, and then it tried to lock back in to that downtrend on March the 16th, but it failed to really put in a new low and take out key support. So from there it kind of went sideways. We got into the Kumo cloud of death, algorithmically speaking, and then bullish momentum kicked in while we were in the Kumo cloud. So that was a very key thing. That was the beginning of the market locking in on the bull side of things and wanting to put in a base to rally from. Then on March the 22nd, the weekly time frame changed and became a little bit more bullish too. It's hard to see what's happening under the surface being manifested at times in the chart. So if I pull up GDXJ here, I'll show you why sometimes it can be difficult to read what may be happening right before your eyes, but you just can't see it because you're just looking at a chart. All right, so looking at the daily chart, it looks like, from this initial thrust, you've just been kind of going sideways, but you haven't taken out any key supports. You have not closed below any key supports, and then you bounce from there, even though you pull back on the intraday. So what it's hard to see just looking here at the chart. That's what you have the algorithms for. So you can see within the market depth what's been happening. And you can see the trajectory here, even though you're in a Kumo cloud of death. So the market still has pent up bullish energy in it, and it's been secretly creeping up, even though it's hard to see that here. Let's pull up the weekly time frame. The weekly complexion changed as well. Yeah, you took out some supports here, but then it pushed itself back up again. And it's still inside the Kumo cloud, and it's kind of elongating a bit, but you have pent-up energy. So it's showing that on the momentum side of things, the market wants to start building a base for another leg higher. So here's your initial thrust, here's your pullback, and then the next thrust will go up here and should put us well into the $50 range in the minors. This is just the order flow and the direction that it seems to be going in right now. So I wanted to point that out for the minors because there have been a lot of questions about that. All right, looking for, let's see, we also have a rally alert in Pretty Ricky. So Pretty Ricky is trying to follow suit with the GDXJ as it should. It wants to follow the index. And yes, it's been in a corrective mode from its bearishness, but the weekly complexion is starting to change. And this normally shows that we're in the beginning stages of a turn, meaning that the bottom should be found here in Pretty Ricky shortly, and we should rally. So basically, if these rally alerts play out today, you'll start to see a picture being painted of what I've been telling you. So the uptrend and downtrend alerts have been augmented to show these changes as they are occurring. For instance, go down here to NAC, which also has a rally alert. Notice the reading in the uptrend column. That's a reading showing you that if you looked at a chart, all right, the bullish picture is still there. However, it's showing you that it has been weakening. If you look at the downtrend column, you'll see that the market's been in a retracement off of its highs. It's been showing you that this uptrend has been weakening and disintegrating. That complexion is changing, and the market is locked in and has been locked in on the downtrend, on the bear side of things. And if you look at your momentum column, you see under that negative momentum, you see the market is locked in on the downside. The rally alert suggests that we may be getting close to a bottom. All right. We have not arrived there yet. So the rally alert is just alerting you to what's been happening. So if you look at the columns correctly, you'll see a weakening situation of the bull trend, which has been for some time now. You see you're locked in on that downside. All right. So your intermediate trend has been down, and you see we're locked in on the negative momentum side. The only thing here that tells you that a breakout may be coming is because you got that rally alert. So as you can see, some configuration changes to help you see and gauge a better idea where things may be bottoming out at or topping out at, if there are shifts in momentum, changes in the overall construct within the trend. That's what I'm attempting to show you here through the algorithms to give you a little bit better read, because sometimes things can be hard to read. Should I buy this? Should I sell this? And this kind of helps remove some of the the weirdness out of it. Look at the coffee futures. The next one, look at that ticker KCC1. You see that? Now notice here on the downtrend, it's showing you that you are in a corrective position right now. And you have been in this market, right? So it's been in a bear market, but that bear market's in a corrective phase right now. Negative momentum still locked in. You got a rally alert, but you have nothing else on that uptrend side, meaning that there has been no shift in momentum yet. No shift in momentum. The momentum is still negative. It's still locked into the downside. But that rally alert has you to stand and take notice, because if it triggers today, then it means that we're now in a situation of putting in a short-term bottom. It doesn't mean the market's going to turn. It just means this is an opportunity to take advantage, because there's going to be some liquidation here, meaning that those who have been short are planning to take some profits here. So there should be an upward thrust for you to be able to get long and take advantage of and ride it until it's over. Pretty slick, right? Looking at a chart, you wouldn't just be able to see that. And let me give you an example of what I mean by that. sometimes it's hard. It's good to have some examples that you can take a look at and see what's what. All right, it's not coming up. That means they have changed the symbol. Hold on, let's see. That is odd. That is a universal symbol. So let's see. What are you doing? You know, sometimes when the brokers change the symbols, it can be a little annoying. All right, so it looks like TD Ameritrade is having some problems. You saw it, for those of you that are able to see live, you saw how it recognized the symbol. It told me what the symbol was, but it's not going to pull it up for me. All right, so let's just go somewhere else. Let's go to this one. It won't pull up the futures. Let's look at the equities. All right, this is the ticker that trades coffee. It follows the coffee futures, ticker JO. All right, as you can see here, just using this as the example from the sheet, you see we've been in the downtrend. You see that momentum is locked in. You see that. But what you don't see and can't tell in the chart is that rally alert. You don't get to see that. All right, you don't see that here. That's something that's being hidden from you. However, if the rally alert does happen, you see retracement is back up in here to the $20.59 on up to around 21.06, which is this resistance, trend line resistance right up in here, which is around the top of the Kumo cloud. So it suffices to say that if triggered, you got a nice run here. You see what I'm saying? That's what this is designed to do. This is designed to give you like a magnifying glass where you're looking at like a telescope or whatever, where you're able to look and you can see what the naked eye can't see. So when you put it under the powerful microscope, you can see now, hey, what's that? Oh, I can see a cell, a single cell organism. I can see the paramecium. I can see the nucleus. I can see all these organisms I couldn't see before with the naked eye. And sometimes the microscope is so powerful, you can start to see the DNA strands and everything else. Well, that's what this is. To take the chart that you see with your naked eye and break it down and let you know what's been happening in the market depth, what's happening with the put-call ratios, what's happening behind the scenes that you cannot see. So this is reflected here in the sheet. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's wrap this up. All right, so you see in the gold complex today, you got your rally alerts in Nugget and JNUG, which is great. This is what we want to see. Another thing to take a note of too is the rally alert in our volatility shares, the XIV. If you're like me, you've been waiting and looking to get long here, and this is a good one to continue to watch. It's probably not going to fill you today. But this rally alert, sometimes remember too that the algorithms can lead the market 3 to 5 days out. All right, so if you're getting a rally alert today, watch it, because that means over the next couple of days, a bottom is going to be put in the stock market, and it's going to reverse, and it's going to be fast and furious. Okay. All right, so same thing with the Bitcoin complex, ticker symbol GBTC. You can see this one also is lining up for you, so you want to take a look at that and get familiar with the sheet. We're going to talk about that too. All right, last but not least, look at the crash alerts here. Poor dry ships has a crash alert, and it's in a locked-in downtrend. The only bright spot is you also have a rally alert, so that means it's at a crossroads of what it's going to do here. If it's going to break below $1, or it's going to pause here and break back above $2. And you do have a momentum shift in the uptrend column. All right, so some buying is taking place somewhere, and that's when it's showing you. All right, let's see. We have the bond market is on here, I believe. Let's see what we got. All right, I don't like the one on the UNG. I see that crash alert there. But the good thing is I don't see it in the UGAS. So UNG has it, but UGAS doesn't have a crash alert, and neither does the Nat Gas futures. So I'm sorry, no, UGAS does have a crash alert on there. But it's in a different kind of perspective. You see the weekly complexion has changed with locked in momentum to the upside, but it's also showing a crash alert. So it's possible that it could try to put in one more dip before reversing course, but we'll see. All right, so that's it, folks. That's all we got for right now. So remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. Trading room, hang on, because we have some more to talk about.